From the road, it looks like a farmhouse. A really nice farmhouse. Board-and-batten siding in a warm white. Black windows. A standing seam metal roof. A covered front porch with 2 rocking chairs. Honest. Unpretentious. The kind of house that belongs on its land without announcing itself. And if you drove past it without slowing down, you might describe it later as a beautiful farmhouse exterior and leave it there. But step through that front door. Just take one step through that front door. And the word simple disappears from your vocabulary permanently when it comes to this home. Because inside this farmhouse is something that the white shiplap and the gray paint and the nickel hardware era of the last decade could never have produced. Exposed beams in a reclaimed fur that glows amber at dusk. A kitchen that makes professional chefs put down their phones and look. A great room fireplace in natural stone that took 6 days to build by hand. A primary suite so calm and restorative it changes your blood pressure the moment you walk in. In a hidden room that nobody who has visited this house for the first time has ever found on their own. Today I am taking you through every single room of this farmhouse and explaining exactly why what is inside is so much more extraordinary than what the exterior ever suggested. Stay until the very end, because the final room proves the greatest truth in all of home design. The most beautiful things are always behind the door you almost did not open. Before we go one step further, if modern farmhouse design, extraordinary interiors, and homes that completely defy first impressions are your kind of content, subscribe right now and tap that notification bell. New videos every week, and this channel is the most beautiful design resource your home has ever had. Let us go inside. Before we walk through this home room by room, let us establish why the farmhouse is the most dominant residential design style in America right now. Because the numbers are extraordinary. Modern farmhouse design is not just holding its ground in 2026. It is outselling every competing house style on the market. According to houseplans.com, modern farmhouse plans accounted for 33% of all houseplan sales, a share nearly identical to 2024 and larger than the next 3 styles combined. Search interest for modern farmhouse grew 7% year over year, and over 2.3 million social media posts carry the hashtag. The appetite for this style is real and durable. 33% of all houseplan sales. The next 3 styles combined cannot match it. But here is the most important thing the data says, and it is the thing that makes this specific home so extraordinary. What is changing is the formula inside those homes. The shiplap and gray era is ending. The core of the style, its pitched roof lines, natural materials, open layouts, and connection to the land, remains as appealing as ever. What is declining is the decorating formula. Warmer neutrals, natural wood, black metal accents, and organic textures define the updated 2026 farmhouse look. The shiplap and gray era is ending. The farmhouse of 2026 looks completely different on the inside from the farmhouse of 2018. And this home, with its reclaimed beams, its natural stone, its warm wood, its moody color choices, is the most complete expression of what the farmhouse has evolved into. Let's walk through it. Let us spend a moment on the exterior, because the restraint of it is a design decision as intentional as anything inside. The exterior is the first impression of any modern farmhouse, and 2026 designs focus on bold contrasts, durable materials, and architectural details that blend rustic charm with contemporary edge. Crisp white board-and-batten siding creates vertical rhythm and a clean classic backdrop, while bold black window frames add instant contrast and a contemporary edge. The result feels both traditional and fresh. This farmhouse uses that formula exactly. Board-and-batten in a warm, slightly cream white. Not the stark cool white of previous farmhouse iterations, but something warmer, closer to the color of old dairy barn timber that has been weathered and then painted and weathered again over decades. Black window frames. Every window, consistent throughout, creating a grid of dark rectangles against the pale siding that reads as both architectural and dramatic from the road. Metal roofs have become a staple for modern farmhouses, offering durability, energy efficiency, and a sleek silhouette. Natural stone foundations paired with rustic wooden beams bring an organic texture that feels authentic. The standing seam metal roof here is in a dark bronze, not the silver gray of most metal roofing, but a darker, warmer tone that picks up the warmth in the white siding and connects the roof to the natural stone foundation wrapping the lower 3 feet of the building. The stone is a local fieldstone, irregular shapes, warm gray-brown, fitted together without visible mortar. The same stone that appears in the fields surrounding this property appears at the base of the building. The house grows from its land rather than sitting on it. Natural stone foundations paired with rustic wooden beams bring an organic texture that feels authentic. The modern farmhouse exterior bridges comfort, craftsmanship, and character. Homeowners are reimagining rural architecture with a fresh blend of rustic charm and modern elegance. From the road, this home looks like exactly what a farmhouse should look like. Honest, proportioned, made from real materials that belong in this landscape, and completely silent about the extraordinary interior it is protecting. Through the front door, solid wood, painted in the same warm cream as the siding exterior, but with a single horizontal iron strap running its full width as a hardware detail. And the first hint of what this home is on the inside arrives immediately. One step inside the home, and you will be blown away by the layout. Inside the door is a beautiful entryway with exposed wood beams. To the left of the entry is a formal dining room perfect for entertaining guests. The entry ceiling is the first exposure to the reclaimed Douglas fir beam system that runs throughout the home. A single large beam, 8 by 12 inches, rough-hewn, the axe marks from its original milling still visible on its lower face, crosses the entry at 9 feet, running perpendicular to the direction of travel and framing the entry as a distinct zone separate from the great room beyond it. The floor is wide plank white oak, a warm honey tone, the grain visible under a matte oil finish that makes the surface feel alive rather than sealed. The walls are lime-washed in a warm off-white, slightly textured, the surface shifting between cream and warm gold depending on the light. And the light here is extraordinary. A simple iron lantern hung on a vintage-style chain at the center of the entry, its amber bulb casting warm light across the lime-wash walls, and the oak floor in a combination that makes the entry feel, despite its modest proportions, genuinely welcoming. Natural wood features remain a cornerstone of modern farmhouse design in 2026, adding warmth, texture, and organic character to both interiors and exteriors. Exposed beams, wood cabinetry, ceiling details, and natural wood accents help balance lighter color palettes while creating spaces that feel grounded and inviting. The entry console, a narrow solid walnut piece on iron legs, sits against the right wall beneath a vintage mirror in an aged gilt frame. 3 hooks and hand-hammered iron above it, a ceramic bowl on its surface holding keys, a small trailing plant and a terracotta pot at one end. This is not a styled entry. This is a used entry, and the evidence of daily life in it is the detail that makes every person who steps through the door feel instantly at home. Through the entry and into the great room. And this is where the farmhouse stops being restrained and starts being extraordinary. Bold accents, deep charcoal window frames, glossy black interior doors, muted earthy cabinetry tones, add a polished modern edge without overpowering overall warmth. The great room ceiling vaults to 16 feet at the ridge, the same reclaimed Douglas fir beams as the entry here in their grandest expression. 3 primary beams running the length of the room at the ridge and at mid-height on each side. Secondary beams crossing perpendicular at regular intervals. Between the beams, tongue-and-groove pine ceiling boards in a warm white paint that makes the whole vaulted ceiling read as one warm luminous surface, the beams interrupting it in deep honey-brown shadows. Warm and earthy color palettes are shaping modern farmhouse interiors in 2026, replacing cooler neutrals with tones that feel grounded and inviting. When paired with clean lines and modern finishes, wood elements bring timeless farmhouse charm without feeling heavy or outdated. The great room walls are a warm, deep clay, not the gray that dominated farmhouse interiors for the previous decade, but a genuine terracotta-adjacent tone that is warm and complex and completely different from what the white exterior suggested. The color choice, warm clay inside a white exterior, is the home's primary design surprise. You walk in from outside expecting something cool and pale. You find something warm, grounded, and confident instead. The fireplace anchors the north wall, floor-to-ceiling stacked fieldstone in the same warm gray-brown as the exterior foundation stone. The geological continuity between the outside of the building and the inside is the home's most powerful material decision. The stone that wraps the building's base outside continues, impossibly, inside, climbing the north wall of the great room to the ridge beam 17 feet above the hearth. The house did not just sit on this land. The land came inside. The overarching modern farmhouse home seamlessly integrates various spaces from the highly trafficked kitchen to the cozy living room and striking exterior. Modern farmhouse style strips away the clutter of traditional farmhouses while retaining the warmth, natural material connection, and human scale. The seating arrangement in the great room is organized around the fireplace with the logic of a room designed for long evenings rather than impressive photographs. Two deep sofas facing each other across a thick live-edge walnut coffee table, both angled slightly toward the fireplace, so the stone is visible from every seat. 4 armchairs arranged loosely around the conversation cluster, each one different in form, all in the same warm material family of oat, sand, and warm cream. A hand-knotted wool rug in a warm terracotta and cream geometric pattern anchoring the entire arrangement. Every seat within reach of the fire. Every person in the room within conversational distance of every other person. What is changing is the formula inside farmhouses. Warmer neutrals, natural wood, black metal accents, and organic textures define the updated 2026 farmhouse look. The shiplap and gray palette is giving way to something richer and more considered. The kitchen in this farmhouse is the room that stops design professionals mid-sentence. Not because it is the most expensive kitchen we have seen in 2026. It is not. Because it is the most considered. The cabinetry is custom-built shaker in solid white oak. The same species as the floor, the grain running vertically on every door and drawer face. The natural oil finish giving each surface a warmth that painted cabinetry can never achieve. No upper cabinets on the main wall. Replaced entirely by open floating shelves in the same white oak, loaded with the evidence of a kitchen that is genuinely daily used. Mismatched ceramics in warm, earthy tones. A cast iron skillet on a hook. A bundle of dried herbs. A hand-thrown pitcher. 3 cookbooks with their spines facing outward and their pages dog-eared. Smart kitchens in 2026 modern farmhouses seamlessly blend vintage farmhouse aesthetic with cutting-edge smart appliances. Professional-grade appliances with vintage-inspired designs, like a 48-inch dual-fuel range with cast iron grates in a warm color. Anchor the kitchen without disrupting the handcrafted feel. The range is the kitchen's focal point. A professional 48-inch dual-fuel in a warm cream enamel finish, 6 burners, a griddle, and a double oven. It belongs in a professional kitchen and looks like it was always in this farmhouse. The range hood above it is custom plaster, hand-applied in a broad arching form, lime-washed in the same warm off-white as the great room fireplace plaster, climbing to the ceiling beam above in a shape that reads as architectural rather than functional. The island is the kitchen's social center, a thick slab of honed Calacatta marble at 10 feet long, with a base of the same white oak as the perimeter cabinetry and bar seating for 5 along the garden-facing side. The marble is honed rather than polished, matte, warm, approachable, and it is allowed to patina. The owners of this farmhouse did not seal their marble against use. The kitchen surface records life rather than resisting it. Farmhouse sinks in white fire clay, copper, or hammered stainless are making a strong comeback in 2026 kitchens, chosen not just for aesthetics, but for depth and practicality in a working kitchen. The farmhouse sink is a deep white fire clay apron front, wide enough to wash a sheet pan flat without it hanging over the edge. The tap is an unlacquered bridge faucet in a warm brass that has already begun its slow, beautiful aging process from the day of installation. In 5 years, it will be more beautiful. In 10, it will be extraordinary. The kitchen was designed for time rather than against it, through a wide-cased opening from a kitchen. And the dining room is the space that most completely subverts the expectation of a simple farmhouse. Minimalist layouts are gaining momentum in modern farmhouse design for 2026, with a focus on clean lines, open spaces, and intentional simplicity. Yet within this restraint, the dining room is emerging as the space where personality is allowed to express itself most fully. The dining room walls are wallpapered. A large-scale botanical print in deep forest green and warm terracotta on a dark navy ground. Not subtle, not restrained. The most visually bold surface in the entire home. And because every other room in the farmhouse is so disciplined in its warm neutral palette, the dining room wallpaper lands with a dramatic weight that a home with more visual noise throughout would never achieve. The contrast does all the work. The dining table is a 10-foot single-slab walnut, live edge on both sides, seated 8 on ladderback chairs in a natural oak finish with rush seats. 2 antique-style iron pendants hang above the table, their warm amber bulbs lighting the walnut surface at dinner in a glow that makes the grain of the wood look like it is lit from within. The sideboard against the far wall is a vintage piece, found at an estate sale, refinished in a dark walnut stain, given new unlacquered brass hardware. On its surface, 3 objects: a large ceramic vessel, a stack of linen napkins in a warm sand, a single candle. Warm and earthy color palettes are shaping modern farmhouse interiors in 2026, replacing cooler neutrals with tones that feel grounded and inviting. A dining room that goes bold within an otherwise restrained home is one of the strongest design moves available in any farmhouse. One bold room in an otherwise restrained home. That contrast is the design confidence that separates a farmhouse that is beautiful from a farmhouse that is unforgettable. Down the hallway from the great room, the same wide plank white oak floor, the same lime wash walls, a gallery of framed vintage botanical prints in identical black frames, and into the primary suite. Warm and earthy color palettes are shaping modern farmhouse interiors in 2026. These tones add depth while keeping interiors feeling timeless and grounded. The primary suite in a 2026 farmhouse is about one thing above all others: genuine rest. The primary bedroom walls are a deep, warm mushroom, darker than the great room clay, more settled and enveloping. The ceiling follows the same, tone one shade lighter. The reclaimed fir beams continue into this room, 2 crossing the bedroom at 9 feet, their warm honey tone against the mushroom walls creating the most beautiful surface dialogue in any room of the house. The bed is a custom iron 4-poster, raw steel, slightly rough at the joints, the aesthetic of something forged rather than manufactured. Dressed in 3 layers of Belgian linen and warm oat, cream, and a deep terracotta throw folded across the foot. The bedding communicates warmth and comfort at the same time as restraint. Nothing excessive, nothing decorative for its own sake, everything chosen to feel extraordinary to sleep in. The modern farmhouse primary suite strips away clutter while retaining warmth, natural material connection, and human scale. Every element serves the function of rest and recovery rather than visual impression. The bathroom is the primary suite's greatest gift. A walk-in wet room in large format terracotta tile, the same warm terracotta as the kitchen rug and the dining room wallpaper accent, appearing here for the 3rd time in the home's material sequence. A curbless floor, a rainfall head recessed into the ceiling, a freestanding soaking tub and a matte white cast iron positioned under the single window, which faces east, which means morning light fills the bathroom from the moment the sun rises. A double vanity in the same white oak as the kitchen cabinetry, unlacquered brass throughout. The bathroom of this farmhouse is warmer, calmer, and more beautiful than any spa that charges admission. Farmhouse outdoor spaces in 2026 are no longer an afterthought. Fully equipped outdoor kitchens, covered gathering areas, and fire features extend the home's living space into the landscape that surrounds it. The connection between the house and its land is the farmhouse's greatest differentiator from any urban home. The rear of this farmhouse opens through 3 sets of French doors, one from the great room, one from the kitchen, one from the dining room, onto a covered back porch that runs the full width of the building. The porch floor is the same tongue-and-groove pine as the ceiling in the great room, painted in a warm charcoal that grounds the space against the pale exterior siding above it. The porch ceiling is the same warm white pine as the interior ceilings, carrying the indoor material language outside without any transition. An outdoor kitchen occupies the east end of the covered porch, a built-in gas grill, a concrete countertop, a bar sink in unlacquered bronze. A wood-burning fire pit surrounded by a ring of locally sourced fieldstone sits 30 feet beyond the porch in the yard, directly in line with the interior fireplace. So on evenings when both are lit simultaneously, the house glows at 2 points along a single north-south axis. The interior fire and the exterior fire. The farmhouse and its land. In conversation. Beyond the fire pit, the property opens into a cutting garden, raised beds and cedar, planted with seasonal flowers that come into the house on the dining table and the kitchen island and the entry console all year. The farm part of this farmhouse is not decorative. The flowers are real. The herbs in the garden are the herbs in the kitchen. The vegetable beds supply the kitchen from late spring through early autumn. This house does not just look like it belongs on its land. It uses the land. Every day. Here it is. The room nobody who visits this farmhouse for the first time has ever found on their own. The room the owners almost did not build. The room that is, by any measure, the most extraordinary space in the house. It is behind the bookcase, in the hallway between the great room and the primary suite. A floor-to-ceiling built-in bookcase lines the left wall. White oak, styled with books and ceramics and small plants in the same warm earthy palette as every room in the house. From the hallway, it reads as a beautifully styled library wall. There is no visible door, no visible handle, no gap in the cabinetry line to suggest anything is behind it. Push the third shelf from the bottom at its left edge. Press gently, steadily, and a section of the bookcase swings inward on a concealed pivot. Behind it, a private reading room, 10 feet by 12 feet, every wall lined with books. 2 deep leather armchairs facing each other across a small walnut table. A single brass floor lamp. A small gas fireplace in the same fieldstone as the great room fireplace. Here scaled for a room this intimate. Its flame visible through a clear glass front, its warmth filling the space in under 5 minutes. The modern farmhouse earns its dominance by solving a specific problem. It makes a home feel genuinely warm and unpretentious without sacrificing the clean lines and functional layouts that contemporary buyers expect. The greatest farmhouses are the ones that keep surprising you the longer you spend time in them. The greatest farmhouses keep surprising you the longer you spend time in them. This hidden reading room, behind the bookcase, in the farmhouse that looks simple from the road, is the proof of that. Nobody finds it on their first visit. Everyone who finds it on their second or third never wants to leave it. The best things in any home are always behind the door you almost did not open. So there it is, the farmhouse that looks simple, and the interior that proves simple was never the right word. A warm cream board-and-batten exterior with fieldstone foundation and black windows that keeps every secret. A reclaimed Douglas fir beam entry that whispers what is coming. A great room in deep warm clay with a floor-to-ceiling stacked fieldstone fireplace that took 6 days to build and will last 200 years. A kitchen in white oak and honed Calacatta marble with a professional cream enamel range and a farmhouse sink wide enough to lose your elbows in. A dining room in bold botanical wallpaper that surprises the most because it surrounds the most restrained home. A primary suite in warm mushroom with iron 4-poster and a terracotta wet room that makes mornings extraordinary. A cutting garden that supplies the kitchen. An outdoor fire pit that faces the interior fireplace across 30 feet of covered porch. And a hidden reading room behind a bookcase wall. 2 leather chairs. A small stone fireplace. 1 brass lamp. That nobody finds on their first visit and nobody leaves on their second. The farmhouse earns its dominance by solving a specific problem. Making a home feel genuinely warm and unpretentious without sacrificing the clean lines and functional layouts that contemporary buyers expect. Warm, unpretentious, functional, beautiful, simple on the outside, extraordinary on the inside. The best farmhouses have always known that the most important things happen behind the front door. This one proves it in every room. If this video made you want to open every bookcase in your house looking for a hidden room, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Subscribe for extraordinary farmhouse tours, home design reveals, and beyond the front door stories every single week. And drop a comment below. Which room from today's farmhouse hit you hardest? The great room, fireplace, the white oak kitchen, the bold dining room, the hidden reading room, or the cutting garden that supplies the kitchen? I read every single one. See you inside the next extraordinary home.